and good evening from Channel Eye as we welcome you to another episode of Business Today. This evening, great to have you on board. So if you have been an avid follower of the program, you probably know already what we are all about, what we tend to deliver to the general public. We tend to influence you, to educate you, and to give you more experience in terms of exposure so that we can provide that knowledge so that you can also update your knowledge base in terms of entrepreneurship, professionalism, and also business mindset at the same time. So as usual, we bring a personality to the studio, and when it comes to a business personality on Business Today, we bring someone who is exposed and who is very thorough in their knowledge. Let's check out who this person is, and right now we're going to start the personality segment. Continuing from earlier, as I mentioned, small and medium enterprises when it comes to in Sri Lanka has been booming, and it has been a really big backbone when it comes to the growth of Sri Lanka's economy and also the stability of Sri Lanka's economy. But not many business individuals, not many professionals can go to the extremes of scraping the sky in terms of supporting the industries and also the economy when it comes to being a business personality or an entrepreneur. We have someone just like that in the studio. You might have just seen just a peek of him, and we have Mr. Sivarajah Thumilan, Group's Chairman and CEO of the Blue Ocean Group of Companies, a leader in the construction and real estate industry in Sri Lanka. Great to have you on board. Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you.
Right, so pun intended, I can definitely call you a concrete individual in the construction industry, because in Sri Lanka, you might notice that his face is very familiar, not only because he has been on television a lot in discussions to speak about his, his professional and exposure, but if you also wander, around Colombo, you probably see many boards here and there near construction sites with his face. So that is one of the reasons. And also, if you're wondering why we keep on inviting this individual back to the program and also back to television discussions, it's because although this person is the same, his exposure and knowledge base keeps on updating as time goes by, and that is exactly why we want to know the latest updates from you. So tell us, now you being in the industry for many years, and you have been a big pillar in this company as well as the chairman. What has your journey been? I'm pretty sure because our viewers will definitely love to be influenced by you.
Thank you, Varuna, for the nice introduction. The Blue Ocean Group of Companies is a diversified vertical and horizontal portfolio balanced company which has been formed by myself. With my background, we were really very average or poor family background from Jaffna, and then from the Jaffna I have studied my O-level in Nadeswara College and my A-level in Mahajana College, where the Nadeswara College was the, I will say, very, very average school, which has been badly affected by the war, because which is very close to the KKs. So every time we were affected by the war, so then forced to displace the school. And then I have joined Mahajana College for A-level. Again we have been displaced. So I did my A-level bioscience. Due to the unforeseen situation, we have to change the careers, we have to displace, and many challenges I have faced in my primary and secondary education. Then I started diverting my career to the accountancy and shifted to Colombo, I think 1993.
Right.
Then from that onward, when you come from Jaffna, we're from the war area, we can't even speak even single English, or even he can't write proper English, because that's the situation we have grown up. So it was a major challenge to take up an accountancy course in English medium. So many times we have to read again and again. Writing up is very difficult. We can't express the answer in a proper way. So many challenges we have gone through. With all the challenges, my self-confidence and the enthusiasm make me to this level.
So it's enthusiasm that actually drove you to this level, because that's a good point you raised earlier when you mentioned you did biology and now you're in the construction industry. You're just also a big leader, a big pillar in the industry. That's a good point for those who are, because our audience ranges from students to entrepreneurs and also those who wants to be an entrepreneur one day. So I think your advice, your journey is a true inspiration, I suppose. Definitely. So you mentioned a change in your life. You mentioned that you switched from accountancy to construction. What made you make that decision? Because there can be others who might want to think, why?
Actually, it's a good question. There are three pillars. I studied biology, then I diverted to accountancy. I don't know any double entry that time, honestly. It's a complete disaster and the dark I entered to.
Right.
And then you see the construction industry where is engineering and architect background. We don't know any engineering, basically. So you see three diversion is there. But what will happen is, actually after I did my chartered accountancy and the ACC and the CIMA and the CPA, I did my article KPMG Sri Lanka. Then what happened is there was an opportunity to do some small assignment, accountancy assignment, where I got exposure to one apartment company where the board members has mismanagement and the company was in difficulty.
Right.
Therefore, what happened is we had opportunity while doing the accountancy work. They offer me, why don't you take over this company and do it. And for that time I am doing my lecturing for chartered CIMA and SACA. So I had the student base and the customer base already on the trust, and ethics is very important in this business. So therefore people are started buying this apartment. So people basically advancing monies, and we built our first apartment in Dehivela. So that was the key point to enter to the business, where it was very interesting and very challenging. People said, don't do this one, you will fail, you are accountant, this is a different field and all that. I didn't accept all those comments, but I had my own confidence, and I know well what I am going to do.
Okay. Around what year was this?
This happened basically, I think, in 2009, in the year of 2009. So basically, I born 72, very young. So it's about to, after just getting married. So there are more commitment to the business, and we need to sacrifice our personal life, which was the major challenge.
Okay. Right, that's great for those who are listening in. If you are in the same position, why not do the same thing? Tread on the same pathway. Now, you also mentioned the fact that you did accountancy, you did construction. All of a sudden, you took over business, and you are successful in that. In terms of professionalism and entrepreneurship, people tend to mix up the two. People think, there are many people who think you need to have a construction industry degree or something to do construction. But no, that's clearly not, because you're a living example. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a very interesting question. I always like to answer this question because there is a huge difference in this area. Because I will take even three, not two. One is academic side, who do a degree program in universities, and second one is a professional qualification, and third one is entrepreneurship. And if you take academics in Sri Lanka, mostly they are very technical. Their technical knowledge is extremely marvelous and excellent.
Right.
But the application knowledge, there are so many limitations and all that, because they don't apply the theories to the practical situation. Therefore, they are good in writing and conclusion and the recommendation excellent. But they are unable to execute the position in a practical situation. Then if you take the second qualification, that's a professional qualification. Professional also almost equally, they are good in analysis, diagnosing the problem and everything. But sometimes their attitude to risk is averse. They don't want to take risk. This is very risky. Don't do it. You will fail. Like that type of attitude. The third category, I will say entrepreneurs. There are many of the entrepreneurs, even they don't have a qualification. Leading entrepreneurs in the world, not only in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
But they still very successful in their achievement, because they know how to hire the best people, how to ride them through their leadership. So therefore, entrepreneurs are the risk takers, and they are committed to the responsibility and take challenges. Therefore, the entrepreneurs is the I will recognize as a top one, but equally I'll say if you have a professional background, is it easy to manage because you can understand what is others suggesting and what is their recommendation, whether it is acceptable or not acceptable. So those easy to understand. So I will say as an entrepreneur you should have a very basic qualification, not necessarily, but if it is having, you have a distinct advantage, and it will enable to drive your company, as you correctly said, knowledge-based business.
Knowledge-based business. Okay, so it's not really essential to have a qualification, but your ability to apply things practical in the practical world helps you drive a business. Right. Then there's this other question also. How to think like an entrepreneur is another, I think, one of the biggest questions out there, because people want to start businesses, people want to maybe take over business, but they don't know how to think like one, because sometimes when you have too much of professional qualifications and knowledge, you try to think like a book, but it doesn't work like that. But how would you think, in your personal point of view, how to think like an entrepreneur?
Very good question. Again, now see, there are two types of people in the world. One is called ordinary people, other one is called ordinary people. The ordinary people always say this is not possible, it cannot be run, this is always risk. Like, their attitude to the business or risk is worse. So always they analyze, and as you said, book theory. This is cannot happen, this will happen. But today in the business world it's not like that. But the entrepreneurs, they are the people taking the business challenges, financial risk, and challenge the market environment. So those are called entrepreneurs. So in the entrepreneur, you must be an extraordinary person who think out of box and always has to come out with the suggestion and the problem solving. What I found in most of the Sri Lankan education system, they are good in identifying the problem, not in the problem solving mind.
Right.
I always look for the people who have a problem solving mind, even they don't have any basic qualification. There are extraordinary people. They know how to resolve the problem. Rather than identifying the problem, they know how to. So problem solving is one by one for the entrepreneurship. You should know how to take your team, leadership, and how to resolve your particular problem, than reporting that cannot be happen, this cannot be happen. So as an entrepreneur, you should be a risk taker, and you should make the market challenger to make an extraordinary profit.
So you should be able to face the challenge, but for that you should have the confidence, and that confidence comes with the practicality.
Exactly.
Right. So about the construction industry, once again going back to you, now you started way back in 2009. I think that is right after the end of the war, when we were actually booming as a country, and in terms of also construction. So if someone wants to get into construction now, there's a very difference in terms of competitiveness. You're also a competitor right now if someone wants to come in. What kind of advice do you want to give to someone who wants to get into the construction industry?
It's a good question. Again, what happened is construction industry, whether we like it or not, it is a heavy investment industry, not like a trading business. Therefore, the financial risk and the operating risk of the industry is extremely high. If you fail, it can affect so many factors. Therefore, we come out with a strategy called Blue Ocean Strategy. Actually, it is not our company name, it is a strategy. Company name belongs to a strategy. Where we saying the cost leadership and the differentiation, innovation, another word, can be done. So what we thought is, while we are in the apartment starting a condo business, that's our first apartment, we identified it's very difficult to manage the apartment business without a proper construction arms. Therefore, there was a very old and almost 4-decade company called Link Engineering with the extreme well-branded name in the market. So for maybe with the God grace or lucky, we thought it was available for partnership or sales. So we got that done with the company, I think 2013. So therefore, we bought over the Link Engineering. Now we have a condominium project, and we have a strong construction company with the established infrastructure. Therefore, it enables us to reduce our construction costs further down. So we become in the market not a artificial, we are not selling our apartment in artificial prices because we have our construction arm. So the total supply chain we able to manage. While so in the construction industry, this link engineering, then we found we want to find a ready mix and other aluminium and doors manufacturing and all that we need to buy from outside. Again, as you studied in Michael Porter's value chain, the margins are getting out. So we want to get all these margin inside the company as a total integrated supply chain. Therefore, we have our own ready mix plant and we have our manufacturing, door manufacturing and interior company called Contasa, Link Aluminium. Like that, we established the whole set of the company. So therefore, we were able to pursue a quality construction with the cost-effective way. Because that's all actually blue ocean. Then you will say how you can say blue ocean strategy telling in the company. So through the link engineering, we were able to match the higher standard of quality construction as well as it is in a lower cost. Why? We don't lose the margin to the third party. The whole margin is among us. Therefore, the total value chain is better. So the customers, we able to sell it to the customers lower than the market price.
Right.
While enjoying our profit margin.
Okay.
So it was a very good strategic move. Therefore, that's what you know, within a short period, we had done many projects and with the high successful, sustainable company.
Absolutely. So it's all about maintaining who your suppliers are and so minimizing the number of agents or rather middlemen. Yes. All right. So speaking about the small and medium enterprises in the country, there are so many who are trying to reach to the top. I mean, your company being at the highest tier, there are so many also below you, and there are also a few on top of you as well. For those who are still struggling, or those who are still developing into the business, what can a country do, or what can individually what we can do to build them up and help them up?
Very good. One of the thing is we need to, as you know well, we are everything about the strategies, corporate strategies and the business strategies. Now, time to time, you need to change your organization structure and the strategies. In other words, you will ask, what do you mean by that? You know, when the company grow, simple structure too, you need to study organization, role structures and role cultures and all that. Simple structure, one man show, you can do everything, you can foresee everything. The knowledge is not much necessary because the company is very small, so you don't need much expertise. So you can manage yourself. That's called simple structure organization. But when you grow, the company cannot function such a way, you need a divisionalization. HR department has to come, legal department, finance department, production department, purchasing department. So you see, the organization structure has to be gradually changed. So most of the companies sometimes fail, SME sector, they don't want to give up their family ownership. They hold the family ownership forever. Grandfather will do it, then the son will do it, then the son is doing, grandson. So what happened, first question is whether the grandson has the capacity to manage this particular business. Because of the grandfather was a great entrepreneur, you can't expect the grandson also to be a great entrepreneur. So therefore, we need to bring capable people or who have a competence and the qualification to the present situation of the company, not to the history of the company. Okay. Therefore, what happened, I have seen in the history of SME, third generation, mostly the decline is happening. The first generation is creating the company, is very successful manner. Second generation is marginally managing and sustaining or stand still the company. Third generation mostly destroying the company or sell it off. Because they are not interested in this business, they may go for overseas studies and all that. So I have seen that in the reality of Sri Lanka as well.
That's because there's no commitment and effort.
Because they have come through the very rich structure.
Right.
Parents are rich and they are seen the enough money in life. So they are not dedicated like their grandfather.
Right.
Because they are come through the very rich culture. So what you needed a poor and commitment staff to success of the company. Where you have a very soft people. Today we believe aggressive people can perform much better than the well educated or you call soft skill people. Today we needed aggressive people. Problem has to be resolved then and there. You can't pass the problem forever. So these type of cultural changes we needed, number one. Number two, I told you already, organization structural changes. Number three, what is happened was you need to evaluate the business model also based on the pest analysis. You are well educated, I know. So pest analysis, political, economical, social and technological changes. Then the political mean what as government policies can change time to time. They can grant whatever the favorable to the industry or unfavorable to the industry. Import can be restricted or import can be allowed, like that. Then the second one, economical interest rate and the taxes can be changed and forex and all that. And the social, the people are wanted to now see work from home after COVID, isn't it? The culture of the people is changed now and they don't want to travel too far and all that. And technological changes, as you said, digital marketing, digital everything, digital studies also has come, MBA in digital now.
Yes.
So they see when the business model has changed, whether you realize or not, there is a drastic change in the business model. Now see, Juba and like that, there are some now see, we don't need to hold concrete plant machineries with us. We may hire whenever necessary only. So we don't have a financial commitment. So otherwise you buy around 15 trucks or 20 trucks, you are committed to financial commitment. So therefore, I think the market has changed. We need to change our business model. Because of we those days have 25 branches and officers and all that, still you can't continue with the same. As you exactly said, today, as Michael Porter's theory, competitive advantage should be there. Porter's diamond theory, not only Sri Lanka, we need to compare our competitiveness globally, isn't it? So we are the global prices, we are our prices, whether our prices are high, why, what's the reason? So otherwise we won't be able to sustain in the export market, isn't it?
That's true.
So therefore, knowledge is business oriented. Even though we don't realize, it is a must, not the choice.
Right. As the final question, very shortly, if you can please brief us about how a leader of a company, an entrepreneurial leader, can face the challenges that they will face. I mean, as a whole, not individually each problem, but as a whole, as a snapshot, how can they face challenges that they get when they do business?
Very good. Entrepreneur first should have certain characteristics. Number one, it's a punctuality and I will say the commitment. So if you are a chairman of the company, you should be first punctual to the organization. The time you are coming to the office, the time you are leaving the office, during the office hours, your commitment towards company. It is a must. Some people think I am chairman, I am CEO, just going and showing my face and go home, it is my chairman. No, you are not committed to the company. So the commitment to the company is number one. Second one, the leadership towards staff, isn't it? So staff should respect you, your qualities, not through your position, the way you take off and all that. So please, the technical knowledge also important. Like that, I will tell you, everybody can become an entrepreneur without any doubt with your talents and the commitment.
Right. Okay. So today's discussion has been a concrete set of advices when it comes to entrepreneurship and also business mindset, and also even when it comes to professionalism and learning from the very beginning at the same time. So we would like to thank Mr. Sivarajah Thumilan once again for coming on board. He's the CEO and the group chairman of the Blue Ocean Group of Companies, a leader in the construction and real estate industry in Sri Lanka, but also hopefully soon in the globe as well. Good luck with that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manna. This is one of the fantastic program. I would like to continue others also same program, which is giving lot of opportunity for young entrepreneurs who will watch this type of valuable program and then they can contribute to the national economy.
Absolutely. It's our duty as media personalities. So thank you again, once again, for those who are viewing as well. So we'll be coming back very soon with another episode on Business Today.